Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, dear Dharma practitioners, as ordinary people, mostly our this spiritual practice sometimes bring us the wisdom, and sometimes it brings us difficulties, failures. When we look at the human history, sometimes most difficult times came to even entire human civilizations because of the religion. And there are a lot of people sacrifice their lives because of the believing system. And even today, when it comes to these young generations, and mostly day by day, people become kind of like pre-thinkers, and they afraid for the word religion. Why it happen like that way? Because it's a kind of like we misunderstand and misuse, and because of that, out of that practice, we get sabotage. Self sabotage is kind of like common everywhere, because the religion or the spirituality is the last thing that you can get to help in your life. That is the highest and final thing that you can harbor your thoughts. That is the final thing that you can clinging you within yourself. But still, when there is no the right result that come to you, or at least the peace, harmony, or tranquility state, if you cannot get, then what will happen? Then out of your life, naturally, all the disturbances going to come. And because of you, and then other people going to suffer. There is no way that thing that anything can fix you. So then it is very important when you practice this kind of things, you always have to be wise to make it very clear and keep it very clear rather than just go with whatever in your head. Always keep the open mind and start to look around and listen to other teachings and keep the freedom and develop your wisdom day by day, rather than closing down or rather than settling down within your own imagination. Get out of it. Otherwise, what will happen? Because little by little, yourself start to sabotage to yourself. So you have to get out of this. So then remember, this tranquility meditation and vipassana meditation is one of the most safest way. If you practice properly, it never going to bring any kind of sabotage to your life or to others. But at the same time, you have to remember that there are two ways. If you practice the right path, then it is good. But mostly humans are so different. Why? Because they have capacity to transfer anything the way they want. So then yourself, you have to remember. It is not like the you transfer the God the way you want, because each and every person have a God, their own version of God. But this meditation you cannot have like that way. It is only one version. That is the Buddha taught that version, and you have to get into that, giving up your self-centered idea. So if you surrender to that, that is why it is the faith or the conviction is very important. The trust that you build with the practice. That is where you give up the inside what you hold into. It is not easy. Why? Because that is make us more safe, and we are protected with whatever we hold within ourselves. So letting go it not easy. So that's why you have to learn the Buddha's character. All other enlightened masters' characters. When you see that, you will recognize they had the more harder time, lifestyle than you. They went through more difficult things in their life than you. So that is where you start to build up the trust. And they had the more question than you. They had more difficulties than you. They went through all the up and downs in this life, and still they attained to the enlightenment, and it shows how they went through that journey. So once you see that, then you become more comfortable to walk in this path. But if you don't know anything, just because of something that what you want, and if you try to develop it, it is very difficult. So that's why you have to learn the Buddha's character, and at least just the simple character. And you have, whenever you have time, you have to learn other enlightened masters and whoever came to Buddha during that time, whatever the conversation happened, whatever the lifestyle they had, just have a simple knowledge about it. It will open more wider space for you to enter to the path. It bringing you the confidence to walk in this path, and then you know where it goes, and you know how others transform through this journey. That is very necessary. So when you don't have, what will happen when you close within your own practice, and sometimes it sabotage to yourself. So then don't allow your spiritual practice, no matter whatever the religion you practice. It is a shame that when it come to us, the whenever our personal, that up and downs emotions come to our life, and mostly we bring the religious name to in front of that, and we fight in hiding that our emotions, we bring the religious seal, and then we fight. And everybody thinks, oh, they fight for the religion, they fight for the nation. No, they fight for their own inner emotions. Because when you learn the religion, when you know the religion, there is no way that you can go against any other human beings or any other living beings. There is no way. Any religion, that when you look at the history and how it came, and if you look at the journey that went through, then you recognize it is something beyond that what you think or what you believe. So when it come to the, especially when it come to the Buddha's teaching, it brings you kind of like a wider wisdom or clear understanding regarding you and other living beings, and the connection that you have, how your life happen like this way. So the mostly when you practice vipassana, there is some transformation happen in you. So this is what, remember this in your life. Because mostly we try to observe impermanent, unsatisfactory nature and selflessness. And also there is a thing that you recognize arising, existing and disappearing. So impermanent, it's mostly kind of like a disappearance, but it giving you complete understanding. Why? It giving you arising, how it arises. Because once you know that, you become completely different person. Mostly in day-to-day life, when things happen to us, why we become more disappointed, unhappy, why we go mad, the most powerful ignorance is because we don't know how this happened. Even regarding our own life, we practice inhalation, exhalation, but look at how your life happened, and how you came here, and how you exist like this, and what kind of things, so how the nature help you to be like this. Once you know that itself, there is nothing to observe the inhalation, exhalation. Why? Because you're going to see it, you recognizing. Then there is no need any campaigns to to teach people about the global warming. Why? Because they recognizing Oh, this nature is our life. Otherwise, we cannot live like this. So, mostly we forget how we happen, how we came to this point. And even in day-to-day life, we forget how so far other people help us, how our journey happened like this way. We don't see it. But when you practice the vipassana, it giving you clear understanding more than the disappearance or the change, it giving you total 100% understanding how things arising. That is where you come to kind of like a clear, total clarity to recognize. Because once you see how things arise, there is a wisdom you're going to gain. We losing it as a human being. We losing, and now we come to point to we claim this is my life. I do whatever I want, you know. So we just became like that now. What we forget how we came to this point. If you see deeply, it's kind of like you get from birth to this point, you get a bird eye view, and you see kind of like how the navigation show you the road, you see from like the satellite view. If you look your own life from birth to this point, how you came, you see, you kind of like you kind of like a dust, because we didn't do anything that much. We got nourished because of other people, other seen, unseen things help us to come to this point. So we losing that. But the vipassana is a method. It bringing back to your heart, deeper bottom of your heart. You start to touch that wisdom. That is where your transformation going to happen. So if you cannot get that knowledge or understanding, your spiritual practice going to become miserable. So don't bring that misery to yourself, because the spirituality is so innocent. It is so beautiful, and it is so wise. So don't destroy that. So then what you have to do while you practice yourself, because it need to come through you. So then while you practice it, you have to bring that quality within yourself. That is the only path has power to transform the human heart, spirituality. Even though there is the argument regarding the connotation of the spirituality, because it came after 1,000 years, kind of like that. But now today we have that word. So that is the meaning of our spirit, head to toes, this all eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind experience. And if you come put that everything together, that you gain the 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 final result is your spirit. So then remember how you develop it rather than you get suffer out of it. So this is how to escape from self-sabotage through your spiritual practice. So the very first thing, while you practice, you have to develop that undisturbed mind. It's mean distractions. So a spiritual practice is a very sensitive. Why? Because you get distracted. So then when you walk in this path, remember the distractions mean don't think that it is something coming from outside. No, the distractions mean it is coming from inside you. So then do, when it comes to tranquility meditation, we always talk undisturbed mind. So in day-to-day life, then you how you can practice it yourself physically. Remember, don't distract to anything. Don't distract. If you try to practice that little bit, you will see. Be gentle with the material things. Don't distract, and then get it to as a mental quality to yourself. So one should develop that itself. You find a peace in your heart, and you develop very comfortable life. But you have to practice it. Just by knowing or thinking about it doesn't work. So in day-to-day life, always remember, the most difficult part is thoughts, dealing with our own thoughts. So then come to a point, never indulge or never nourish your unwanted thoughts. Don't think. If it is come to you, you know this thought, doesn't make any sense. If it is unprofitable, don't think. So mostly these unnecessary thoughts hijack our mind, and it has power to sabotage to you. It can destroy you, it can destroy your family, it can destroy anything. Unnecessary thoughts. So then remember yourself every day. When something comes to your mind, it is not about meditation. In day-to-day life, ordinary lifestyle, whatever come to you, and just get out of it. Just don't think even twice. Get out of it. Be hard on you. Never give a chance to come to your head it again and again and again, and always in your head blah 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 blah, something going on. No, get out of it. If it is unnecessary, get out of it. And how you can recognize how it is unnecessary? Look, if it is bring the trouble, difficulties, sadness, worry, or doubt regarding something, that is unnecessary. So it is mostly our thoughts. There is nothing else. There is no any other miracles. Once you recognize to how you can get out of your unnecessary thought, you win your life. Remember that. This all the teachings finally try to take to our thoughts. That is it. That's not, otherwise there is no place that you can that can heal your life. There is no any power can heal your life. There is no someone can initiate you and transform you to wisdom. No, this everything try to help you to get into your own thoughts by yourself and change that thoughts. Once you done it, you done the journey. So then always remember, get out of the distractions. That distractions mean your own thoughts, not something else. And once you see that, there is no way the inner disturbance is going to happen. The second one, emotions. So the emotions always related to your past experience. So the past experience and always in the current and try to move forward. So your past experience has the current that you create through your thought thinking about your future and your feelings or the desire and to repeat. So in that way, the what will happen? The emotions start to flow. It means the energy means your past experience, the memory, and then now you have desire. It's like a two magnet. In between that, the power start to suck each other. So same like your the past experience already have the feelings that you gathered and you remind it, and then at the same time you create your future and to repeat that. So it is kind of like a same kind of powerful magnet you keep in both sides. Then what will happen? Energy start to in move. So energy in motion, it's the emotions happen. There is nothing else other than that. So then remember, when it comes to the spiritual life, And sometimes we use this spiritual life to cover up our emotions rather than going to it and see it, go to the middle, go to the epicenter of the that emotions and see it is nothing, it is just the thought. Rather than that, what will happen? The mostly we try to cover up. Don't do that. Why? Because if you do it, what will happen? It going to have that the self sabotage going to happen. So it is spiritually, even in conventional life, that be more wiser, a matured person in day-to-day life. And rather than putting your emotion in front and bring the wisdom, cause and effect, cause and conditions, and look around and see and try to understand necessary conditions around the situation and try to go with it. That is how you become matured. But mostly we fail. You know, we become older, but emotionally we prisoners to the same kind of things. But you have to change it yourself. You can do it. You can do it, and when you do it, you feel more different and you feel more peace and you feel more confident within yourself. Always when you become free from emotions, remember it never going to take you to any difficulty or any unhappiness. So then always remember, rather than covering up the emotions, go into it. And when something come to you, and look yourself, question yourself, even when something happen around you, and look what are the reasons. Don't put the emotions. So when you become matured, you're able to handle it. So then you have to use it in day-to-day life. But if you become more emotional and you again and again you allow it to happen, what will happen? And one day it can sabotage you. So don't allow it to happen. Because once the spiritual practices start to sabotage, there's no way that can you can get the help. So that's why while you're going through this practice, you have to know this information and you have to work for that. And the third thing is arrogant. So the arrogant is sometimes we think, oh, I deserve this. I deserve this. I own this. So like that way, we become with the self-centered, that the self-centered deserver. No, I am the one who need that. So I am the one who qualified that. So like that way. So this can happen little by little while you practice yourself. So don't allow it to happen. Don't be arrogant with the self-centered mind. And always that's why when you see how things begins, how things start, you become more humble person rather than becoming arrogant. Oh, I am the husband, I am the wife, I am the child, oh, I am the parents, I am the one who doing this, I am the one who is spending, I am the one who go to market and buy every day. So like that always, we try to become arrogant. No, don't do that. Why? Because you're accumulating. You're accumulating the strength to sabotage yourself. It is the thought, that's it. But once it come like that way and start to attack you, there's no way to can get help. So then always remember, be humble, no matter what. Be humble. Whatever the situation come, be humble and think it as an opportunity for you. So when you have to do something, and remember, never look for reward and always see. You practice it, you do it to brush up yourself, and you look yourself and see how capable you are to perform that. That's it. And even when it comes to the games, even when it comes to sports, even when it comes to your personal life, Even when it comes to your spiritual life, even you come to you sit for meditation, it is not you looking for something. You just look how capable yourself. Can you just experience what is happening? That's it. So once you come to that point, and you will see how you release from this all the tangles. But if you become with the self-centered, then what will happen? One day it's going to bring you hard time. And the fourth one is fixed mindset. Never have a fixed mindset. So even when somebody attain to enlightenment, the one of the beautiful quality that you can recognize through an enlightened master, they don't have a fixed mindset. But sometimes in conventional life and according to some situation, people appreciate that, think it is good. But you have to be more matured than that. Remember, even when it comes to the human history, that everyday law and everyday information becoming new. Why is that? Because that means whatever that had in the past is not the right things. The same like when it comes to our day-to-day life, remember this ancient wisdom that we lose, and sometimes our personal ideas we replace with that, and because of that thing a lot of things went wrong way. But when it comes to this practice, we trying to get into the bottom and we try to get into the real organic wisdom information. So that's why every day I try to share it with you. So then yourself, when you see it, when you practice it, you recognize it. So then that if you have the very fixed mind, you're going to be a very difficult person. Why? Because as you know, everything always change. So if everything always change, how you can have a fixed mindset? Because we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Look at that how the people used to talk about, how the astrologers used to talk about when 2000 end of the 2019, and they used to talk about with the every all the good things regarding 2020. See what happened? No one knew what happened. And then to still today no one knows, where this is going to end. So that is the very nature of life. It every day happen. It is just not only for one day. It every day happens. But only thing what you have to develop, the wisdom, the clarity. Keep clear your mind. Whatever situation come, you go with it. Rather than having a fixed mind. So that's why when it come to vipassana, see, I always tells you, keep the clarity, newness within yourself, freshness within yourself. Don't get into past experience, and keep that freedom within yourself, even in day-to-day life. As a husband, wife, children, friends, and family members, brothers, sisters, look yourself. When you look at your husband, when you look at your wife, when you look at your children, you look at them with your fixed mind. That's why a lot of things go wrong. So that you look at them with the memory, then you don't see that person. But if you get out of that all, and just remember, if you, it doesn't matter how old you are, that if you can see your husband or wife like the very first day that you saw that person, that it going to bring something to you. So it's a moment of living. That is the truth. It is not a kind of like we planning this or that or like that. We planning to go ahead a long journey. It's a moment of living. But when that moment of living become very, very clear, that clarity bring you the wisdom to see as far as you want. Even you can see what going to happen next life if there is a way. So that the clarity that come to you. So then always remember, never get into a fixed mind in any condition, in any situation. So that is the beauty of your human mind. That is where you're going to get the the strength out of this. So how to get out of the self sabotage and distraction? Never allow your own thoughts to distract you. That means get out of the unnecessary thoughts. And the second one, emotions. Don't allow your emotions to hijack your life. So be matured with that. And arrogant. So never be an arrogant person, or never have a kind of like the the self-centered desire or thinking, or I deserve this, and always be a humble person. The fourth one, never have a fixed mindset, and always be like the water. And according to necessary conditions, you change. It doesn't matter what. According to behalf of the good, and you change. It doesn't matter whatever you have to give up. You become like that person. That make you strong. That make you a better person, not others. So then maybe you become example for that them, and then they will learn. But this all help you to become more comfortable person inside you. In the Buddha's life, there is the story called Pancha Yuddha. Like in our country, in Sri Lanka, when uh, for a newly born baby, they put a little pendant, or maybe from they made it from copper or gold. If you have some money, they make it from gold. So in the Panchayuddha, the story come like this. There was the prince, and when that prince born in the palace, that all the astrologers came and they read his horoscope and told this child going to become very strong and powerful, and he going to become a warrior. So it is better that when the necessary time come, you send the child and teach all the skills how to fight. So then the time came, and the father, the king knew this, and then he sent the child to the best teacher to learn all the skill to fight with the weapons. And then this child masters five weapons. So the Panchayuddha means five weapons. And for newly born babies in Sri Lanka, we put this all the weapons in that little pendant. So one is bow and arrow, one weapon. Another one is the sharp sword. Another one, it's kind of like a boomerang. It's like with the sharp edge, the iron circle. And the fourth one is the club. It's kind of like a heavy iron or wooden, kind of like a hammer. So those are the four things. But there are no five weapons, but it called Panchayuddha. There should be five. So the story like this child went, and the teacher called Disa Pamuk, and this child learned this. He became young, and at the same time he mastered this all the four weapons. And so then on the way, now he finished the school and everything. And on the way, suddenly what happened? There was a demon appeared. Huge, very strong demon. And then this boy had all four weapons, and he didn't afraid for anything. And he felt so confident. So what he did, he started to fight with the bow and arrow and the sword and the iron wheel and the club. So somehow, and he did, so he, with that all the weapons, he jumped to this giant demon's body, chest, and hold. So the demon told, oh, now it is very easy. You came very close to my mouth. Now I can eat you. So this boy told, yeah, if you can try, you can eat me. Try and do you know if you eat me, what will happen to you? So the demon asked, what will happen to me? You will die. So the boy told, I will die, but you also have to die. So the demon asked, how I going to die? Because the boy told, because I have this all the four weapons in my hand. So if you eat me, you're going to eat this all the four weapons also, and then you're going to die. So the demon thought about this, and more than the 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 anger, and he saw this boy how calm, how confident. And then the demon thought, oh, that's true also. But I like to listen to you because I see you don't afraid and you don't have fear. You are so confident. So I never saw any human being like this. So then what happened? The demon took that boy to the ground and told, and you are a gift for this entire humanity. And from today, I become your servant. So let me do whatever whatever the command, and let me fulfill it for you. So from that day, the demon became the the servant for this boy. And this heard everybody. And the very first thing, that everybody used to afraid for demon. But this guy, the very first thing what he did, rather than conquering any other human beings or the country or the king, he just conquered the demon. And this news went everywhere. The father heard that and right away told, oh, if you conquer the demon, so that's mean it's nothing to do with this kingdom. You are the king. So he got the kingdom also. So that's the fifth weapon, that in that little pendant that it missing. It just only four weapons. So the fifth the weapon is the wisdom. There is no any weapon can conquer that weapon. So then always remember yourself. We sometimes we get the help. We depending from these material things, and we try to get the help from the weapons or the martial art or the many other ways. But the real weapon is the wisdom. And not only for the humans, it has power to conquer the demons also. So sometimes, even though we are human beings, your husband can become kind of like a demon, your wife can become like a demon, your children can become, nowadays it happens, your children can become like demons, and your parents can become like demons. And maybe you see suddenly your neighbor become kind of like a demon, and your brothers sisters can be kind of like a demon. But remember, keep the wisdom in you, and that is the only way that you can conquer that. And you suffered because of them, their behaviors, because you didn't use that weapon in you. You have it, but you didn't use it. But now start to use it. So when you start use that, you have the confidence, you have the clarity, so you become more humble person, and unseen, seen, that demons also respect for that. So then yourself remember and take this wisdom with you from today. So whatever any condition come to your life, and keep the wisdom sharp yourself. So what is that wisdom? And recognize the necessary conditions around that situation. That is what you need. For that, you have to have the clear mind, So when you have that, your mind always become the bliss. It never going to disturb, or it never going to have the self sabotage to yourself. That is where you become free, and that is where you become qualified person to go with the society. And in this journey, one day you will fulfill your practice, and you will transform from this level to your higher level, which we call ultimate bliss of Nibbana. So, with that, I bless upon everyone. With this good practice, may all of you be well, happy, and peaceful. May no harm come to you, may no difficulties come to you, may no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding, and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. During this time period, may everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbitiyo vivajjantu sabbarogo vinasatu mate bhavatantarayo sukhi digayuko bhava. එත්තාවතාච අම්මේහි සම්පදං පුඤ්ඤ සම්පදං සබ්බේ දේවානුමෝදන්තු සබ්බ සම්පත්ති සිද්ධියා සබ්බේ භූතානුමෝදන්තු සබ්බ සම්පත්ති සිද්ධියා සබ්බේ සත්තානුමෝදන්තු සබ්බ සම්පත්ති සිද්ධියා ඉදම්මේ පුඤ්ඤ කම්මං ආසවක්කයා වං හෝතු සබ්බ දුක්ඛා පමුංචතු. Bless you.